Hey guys, I found this guy while I was digging through some of my old audio production stuff, and I thought we'd do a video on it and take a peek inside. This is a rack mount power strip. These things are made out of metal, so they're heavy duty, and they're super handy whenever you have multiple devices and you don't need all of them to be powered on at the same time. As you can see, it has 8 lighted power switches on the front, and each of those switches controls its own individual outlet on the back. Since the switches are lighted, you won't forget to leave something powered on that shouldn't be. The outlets on the back are spaced pretty close together, but you can always get some short extension cords if that becomes an issue. There's also a built-in resettable 15 amp circuit breaker on the front so you don't overload it. And there's even a little dedicated grounding lug on the back too. Now these are rack mount power strips, so they're intended to be mounted to a 19-inch server rack with these ears here, but you don't have to use them in the racks. You could just stick some rubber feet on the bottom and set it on a shelf. Or get some of these vertical wall mount rack brackets and stick it to the wall above your workbench. These are great for their intended use with audio-video equipment or out in the shop at a test bench. Anytime you have multiple pieces of equipment and you want a single point for individual control over each of them. My unit is pretty old, so it's been discontinued, but I did find a similar model from Pyle for under 50 bucks on Amazon, and if you shop around, there's Chinesium sellers offering them for as low as 35. I'll throw some Amazon links in the video description. Since mine has been sitting in a bin out in my shed for the past 10 years, I thought we'd go ahead and take a peek inside at the wiring before I put it back into service. And, So we got a mix of stranded and solid core wire, all soldered directly onto the terminals. No surge suppression at all, at least not on this one. But there's our circuit breaker, and it looks like that is using crimp terminals, so that would be pretty easy to replace if it ever failed. Yeah, this neutral bus here is just one solid core wire. Most of these solder joints look okay, although some of them have huge blobs on them. And these wires here going across from the switch to the outlet, these are the hot wires, so I'm surprised they use white wire on these and not black. But whatever. And then the ground wire is the green and yellow stranded wire that loops to each plug. Pretty simple wiring. And the outlets in these are actually replaceable too. This plastic part here is a tab that you can press to snap them back out. Same deal for the switches on the front. So it's not that bad a construction, and it could be easily repaired or completely rewired if you wanted to. It may not be pretty, but it's still better than the thin strip of tin connecting the outlets and plastic power strips. Anyway, this was another random thing that I found interesting. Stay tuned for more videos. See you later. Bye.